For battery,
turn around.
violence.
Put your hands behind your back.
You got handcuffs?
According to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, Davis was taken into custody after an impromptu hearing and will now finish his 3-month sentence in jail. WJZ is working to confirm why his sentencing has now been changed.
It was another layer of catastrophe for Gervonta Davis after he had a sudden collapse at the court, following a fresh punishment for him after another violation. A court in Baltimore hosted boxing champion Gervonta Davis and charged him on 2 separate counts. The first was in relation to his hit-and-run incident some years back. Surprisingly, the boxer has been careless with his punishment, and he came close to being sentenced again.
That's on behalf of
Gervonta Davis, Mr. That's it. We finally got you up here.
Yes, Judge. Thank you very much.
No problem.
However, it was his collapse at the court that made him considered by the judge. Coupled with this old case, Gervonta Davis has also had to deal with some bribery allegations after a recording was leaked that contained the conversation between him and referee Steve Willis during his last fight. There were several arguments, but there was proof that something went wrong between them. However, his lawyer's main point was that the New York State Athletic Commission had dismissed the case, which makes it null and void. With this, the fallout continues following the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight.
Hey,
Davis was putting his World Boxing Association lightweight title on the line at the Barclays Center in New York on March 1st in a fight that many fans expected to be a straightforward defense for Tank. The fight didn't unfold that way, with Roach having lots of success throughout the contest, leading to a controversial moment in the 9th round. Davis voluntarily took a knee and retreated to his corner, and despite the referee initially counting, he chose to stop and not count it as a knockdown. Tank later claimed it was due to grease being in his eye. The fight ended in a majority decision draw after the judges scored it 115, 113 Davis, and 114 twice, meaning a 10. 8 round for Roach in the 9th would have been enough to see him become World Boxing Association lightweight champion.
What you was thinking when Tank did that when he took the knee? What you was thinking when he took the knee?
I can't speak on it.
Can't speak on that?
Can't speak on it.
He did some bullshit though?
I can't speak on it.
No personal opinion, nothing?
Can't. Especially you.
It has now been revealed what Roach said to the referee during that controversial moment, making it clear what he thought the referee should have done. Keep counting, keep counting. Roach then explained what was going through his mind while it happened. The referee started counting, but I saw Davis get up and go to a corner. Now I'm confused. I was focused on the referee counting. When I look at him in the corner, I'm like, what is going on? I want this to be a knockdown because it should be. I asked him, why did you stop counting?
You guys calm down. Listen to me.
Hey, come on now. We're trying to get it.
Roach's team lodged an official appeal over the verdict, but the New York State Athletic Commission ruled that the result will remain the same. However, Lamont Roach Jr.'s confidence is sky high at the moment. You'd think that after the New York State Athletic Commission shot down his appeal to overturn the controversial draw in his March 1st bout against Gervonta Davis, he'd quiet down. But nope, he's still aiming for Tank every chance he gets. The frustration is understandable, sure, but at this point, a rematch is what both sides want. So just sign the contract and settle it in the ring, right? Well, it looks like there is some trash talk we need to get out of the way before that happens.
Gervonta Davis.
And, Your Honor, Mr. Hassett and I, assuming the court finds probable cause, we have an agreement.
Good morning, Judge Kenneth Hassam.
And it's not just about the fight anymore. Just a few days ago, Lamont Roach Jr. got into an online argument with another boxer, Lorenzo Simpson, who backed Gervonta Davis and claimed Tank would put Roach to sleep in a rematch. Instead of keeping it cool, he tried to flex his pockets, throwing down a $250K bet and saying, "Yay, $250K, just like I bet your role model. If you can show it to me, we good money, lil guy." He's brimming with confidence, no doubt, but now he's taking it a step further. A few hours ago, he casually threatened Gervonta Davis on his Instagram post. Ring Magazine highlighted Lamont Roach Jr.'s latest Instagram post.
To keep getting money off of niggas and not wishing at it. Not paying. Like, come on, bro. Y'all niggas is crazy. So we elsewhere with that shit.
Lamont Roach alludes to a rematch against Gervonta Davis in an Instagram post today. The caption read, "The 25." One boxer said in the post, "I showed that I was a pound-for-pound talent against a generational star in the sport. I was born a star, but March 1st, a star was finally under the microscope of the world. I can't wait to run it back and put on a show again." Now, why does Lamont Roach Jr. think he's a pound-for-pound talent? Well, for starters, everyone saw that 9th round moment when Gervonta Davis took a knee. Now, Tank swears it wasn't a punch, but a mix of hair grease and sweat that blinded him, forcing him to take a knee. Some folks bought that excuse, but plenty gave Roach his flowers for the non-knockdown.
Just off the top, man, I was, a little disappointed. Just for the sake of boxing itself, and obviously my result for the fight. I think.
But is that one moment enough for Roach to believe he's better than Davis? Probably not. Another reason his confidence is sky high could be Ring Magazine's latest pound-for-pound rankings. Devin Haney took Davis's spot, and ESPN now has Roach sitting at No. 6 in the 135-pound division. That kind of recognition can definitely boost a fighter's ego. Now, as for Gervonta Davis, is he doing anything about all this? Yes and no. After initially saying he wanted the rematch by the end of May, he's gone radio silent. And that's unusual for Tank. He's usually quick with the trash talk. But this time, the 30-year-old has been keeping quiet. And when a fighter like him goes silent, it usually means he's cooking up something big.
Like, the key that they pointed out the things that were actually done wrong, and there's still no movement to overturn the fight. Just really saddened me a little bit. But I wasn't too hung on it.
If this rematch happens and Roach's promoter Gary Jonas insists it will, it might just deliver the fireworks fans expected the first time around. But the real question is Tank plotting a stronger comeback, or is he looking for the exit door? Gervonta Davis has already hinted that he's only got 3 or 4 fights left before he hangs up the gloves for good. And let's be real, if he's closing in on retirement, he's going to chase the biggest paydays possible. Now think about it. Does a rematch with a relatively unknown name like Lamont Roach Jr. bring in the kind of money he's looking for? Or would he cash in way more by locking in fights with bigger names like Shakur Stevenson?
The decision of the New York State Athletic Commission, I kind of accepted my fate. Just a little bit. I had a lot of hope, though. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of hope. But
funny enough, Tank originally dismissed the Newark native, saying he hadn't done enough for the sport of boxing. But then, in a recent sit-down with NBA analyst Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, he suddenly seemed open to the idea. Also, a match with Ryan Garcia would be a moneymaker. But it's not happening anytime soon. Garcia first has to get past Rolly Romero on May 2nd, and if he wins, he's got Devin Haney waiting for him, assuming Haney beats Jose Carlos Ramirez that same night. So Tank versus Garcia 2? It's a possibility, but it's going to take some time that Tank may not have to spare, as Roach has been all over his face, even when he had to deal with a court case.
In my view, that I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win, is doing just enough.
A Baltimore judge on Wednesday spared World Boxing Association lightweight champion Gervonta Tank Davis jail time after he admitted to violating his probation for a hit and run that injured 4 people, including a pregnant woman, Circuit Judge Althea M. Handy instead extended his probation for 18 months and directed him to make a $10,000 donation to the Community Assistance Network. Davis, 30, now of Parkland, Florida, admitted that he left the Sunshine State without approval to travel. His probation agent in Maryland happened to see him eating dinner on January 22nd at Proper Cuisine on East Redwood Street near South Calvert Street in downtown Baltimore, less than a half mile from the Clarence M. Mitchell and Elijah E. Cummings courthouses. Handy said Davis's probation agent in Florida has been generous and approved travel passes for him to go to the U.S., Virgin Islands, twice.
Elsewhere with that shit, and niggas dick eating like they start. Like, come on, when I start wearing chrome heavy and showing shit off, and that's when niggas start wearing.
Plus, Handy noted, she granted him permission to attend the 2024 Paris Olympic Games to support and advise Team USA Boxing. But she denied his request to travel to Japan for his 30th birthday. At the same time, Handy said she did not know what sentencing him to additional jail time would accomplish. "I don't like sending anyone to jail, sir. I really don't," Handy said. but you need to wake up. Please, she later added, I don't ever want to see you in court again. Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta Davis, sentenced to 90 days of home detention in 2020 hit and run.
The home detention, people, I listened to everybody to the T. She's mad that I bought a property, that's why I'm sitting in jail.
Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta Davis pleads guilty in hit and run. The hearing marked the latest chapter in the legal saga for the boxer, who grew up in West Baltimore and boasts a record of 30-0-1. He recently held on to his belt after fighting Roach to a majority draw. The Baltimore Banner thanks its sponsors. Become one. Davis pleaded guilty in 2023 in Baltimore Circuit Court to 4 traffic offenses in the hit and run. The crash happened at about 2 a.m. on Nov 5, 2020, after he ran a red light at Martin Luther King Jr. and Washington Boulevards in his 2020 Lamborghini Urus, hit a 2004 Toyota Solara, and slammed into the fence of a 7-Eleven.
I shouldn't have. She wanted me to be in an apartment, a one-bed apartment.
Handy sentenced Davis to 90 days of home detention plus 3 years probation, stating that he had demonstrated a consistent pattern of disobeying the law. He was supposed to stay at the home of Calvin Ford, his longtime coach and trainer, but Handy later revoked Davis's home detention after learning that he had been serving out the sentence in a Four Seasons hotel and a $3.4 million penthouse condo in Locust Point. In a now deleted Instagram Live, Davis called Handy crazy and stated that she locked me up because basically I bought a property. The Baltimore Banner thanks its sponsors. Become one.
You know what I mean? And I couldn't even, you know what I mean, take that. You know what I mean? She wanted me to stay in a one-bed apartment, trying to have my kids and nothing come visit me, and things like that. I just want to spread light on this situation because
he spent more than 6 weeks in jail. During Wednesday's hearing, both of his probation agents recommended jail time. Davis's probation agent in Maryland, Kia Yancey, said she often has to contact members of his team or his attorney to get in touch with him. He's a grown man, Handy said. I don't understand. Assistant State's Attorney David Owens, chief of the Misdemeanor Jury Trial Unit, said he spoke with Baltimore State's Attorney Ivan Bates about the case, and he proposed a $25,000 fine.
Court finds probable cause.
And Your Honor, we agreed to a $1,000 bond, no victim contact if that's acceptable for the court.
Okay.
The Baltimore Banner thanks its sponsors. Become one. Is there a reason you spoke to State's Attorney Bates about this matter? Handy asked. Owens replied that Bates assigned him to the case. So, he is requesting a $25,000 fine? Handy inquired. Period. Yes, Owens responded. Hunter Pruitt, Davis's attorney, implored the judge to spare his client jail time. Davis, he said, has completed all the special requirements of probation and given back to the community in multiple ways.
$1,000 bond, no contact. Have a good day.
Happy holidays, Judge. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Obviously, Pruitt said, it's a regrettable decision. It wasn't under the guise of doing something illegal, he added. He was training. Davis apologized for his actions and reiterated that he had been training. But Handy noted that Davis was at a restaurant with a group of people. His probation agent in Maryland just happened to spot him. The Baltimore Banner thanks its sponsors. Become one. You weren't training, she said. You were out celebrating. He clarified that he had been training in Washington, D.C., but went to Baltimore for dinner. Following 2 separate discussions at the bench, Handy handed down the sentence.
I want to do the chrome shit heavy. These are dick eaters. And I'm selling all my shit too. But
the only reason she wants to see him back in her courtroom, she said, is if he goes to law school and becomes an attorney. Gervonta Tank, Davis's history of slow starts, nearly caught up to him Saturday night. Davis's defense of his WBA lightweight championship against Roach Jr. ended in a majority draw in front of a stunned, sold-out crowd of 19,250 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Davis retained his title in a fight he would like to soon forget. Two judges scored the fight 114, 114, while a third judge scored it 115, 113 in Davis's favor. ESPN scored the fight 114, 114. Lamont is a great fighter, Davis said after the fight. He got the skills, like I said before, he got punching power. It was a lesson. Hopefully we can run it back. In a strange scene that could have turned the tide of the fight, Davis inexplicably took a knee in the 9th round after getting touched by a jab, but referee Steve Wilkes decided not to score a knockdown for Roach. Davis suggested the reason he went to a knee was because grease from his hair had gotten into his eye. The fight resumed with no penalty, but the knockdown could have swung the pendulum in favor of Roach.
My own live, but I went back and I watched it, and shit, Tank lost that fight, period. And that's even without the knockdown, he lost.
Had the knockdown been called, Roach could have won the 9th round by a 10-8 score. Instead, 2 of the judges scored the round 10, 9 for Davis. I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my hair, Davis said. When I was sweating and things like that, it burned my eyes. Roach didn't disagree with Davis's assessment of the situation. However, he made it clear that the rules are the rules and he should have been awarded a knockdown. If you take a knee and the ref starts counting, it should be a knockdown, Roach said. If that's a knockdown, I win the fight. I'm not banking on that knockdown to win. I just thought I pulled it out.
The fight. Yeah, just didn't do enough work. I thought that Roach's game plan was man.
Davis entered the fight as a massive favorite and was expected by many to collect his 29th career knockout by stopping Roach, who was making his lightweight debut. Behind a pro-Davis crowd, Tank was unable to give the fans the highlight reel finish they have come to expect from the Baltimore native. Instead, Roach stood in the line of fire, absorbed what the hard-hitting Davis had to offer, and responded with shots that stunned not only Davis, but those in attendance. The notoriously patient Davis got off to a slow start in the early rounds as he waited for Roach to make a mistake that he could capitalize on. But Roach refused to give Davis the window to counter and press the action. Davis smiled and talked to Roach early in the fight, but had to get serious once he realized that his opponent wouldn't wilt under the bright lights. Roach Jr., 29, had faced Davis in the amateurs and fell short.
Like Lamont definitely won. All right, G. I feel like Lamont Roach won. I definitely feel like Lamont Roach won. But a draw, it is what it is type shit, I ain't hating on the decision.
Their careers went in different directions once they turned pro, with Davis being one of boxing's biggest stars, and Roach being known as a solid fighter who lost in his only other opportunity at a world championship in a defeat to Jamel Herring for the World Boxing Organization super featherweight title in 2019. Davis's ascent to stardom was punctuated by his knockout win over Ryan Garcia in 2023, where he laid claim to be the face of boxing. He almost let the title slip away in an underwhelming performance. Their history may have given Davis a false sense of confidence heading into the fight, but Roach was well prepared for everything Tank had to offer, including his renowned fight-ending power. By the middle rounds, Davis's smile dissolved, and he realized that the knockout he expected wouldn't come easy. The champion began to let his hands go to create openings, but Roach held his ground and caught the champion with counters and combinations. Davis worked almost exclusively to the body, banging away as Roach stayed on the front foot and pushed forward. Undeterred, Roach would sneak a counter in whenever Davis's assault stalled. In round 8, Roach stunned Davis with a counter right hand. Although Davis was never in any real danger, the counterpunching signaled that he couldn't rumble recklessly. I feel like I was breaking him down as the rounds were going on, but he kept coming, so I didn't want to make any mistakes, Davis said. I kept it cautious. Realizing the fight could be slipping away, Davis, 30, pressed the action in the championship rounds. Although he landed some big power shots, he never came close to hurting Roach. But the activity gave him the final 2 rounds on all 3 scorecards to salvage the draw and leave New York with the title. Davis landed 103 of 279 punches in an extremely economic affair, while Roach was more active, landing 112 of 400 punches.
It was a great event. Great event. It was a great fight. They put in a fantastic performance. Both of them did, for real. Both of them really did put in a fantastic performance. It was a great fight, you know? All that good stuff. All that good stuff. You know, it was a draw. At the end of the day, people are unsatisfied. You know, I feel like, I always keep it a buck.
I'm just a little disappointed in the decision, Roach said. I thought I pulled it out, but that's what two skilled fighters do. I definitely thought I won, but we could run it back. Even though I didn't win tonight, I thought I did, but it's a win for me in my book. We are not satisfied with that. We need a real W. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.